Welcome in, Renegades. Now, we need more of this on the internet computer. We need it everywhere. We need more of these massive pumps. And today, we have somebody who is the biggest, baddest mother lover in the game, doing it big, doing price predictions that absolutely have hit. He's been talking about a cup and handle for months that have played out. So welcome in, my boy, Six Figs here to the channel. Welcome in.
What's up, man? Hey, sorry, I'm having some weird microphone things going on right now. So if it sounds messed up, that's what's going on. But thanks for having me. Yeah, man, it's been a long time. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah.
What's new with you, bro?
Oh man, I'm just enjoying this pump, honestly. Let's just give a little context to the new people to the channel. And if you're new, welcome in. Subscribe if you haven't, and smash that like button to help us, continue to make great content in these good price prediction calls we'll talk about later. But I want to give you guys some context. Me and Six Figs go way back. We were first on Crypto Windio's channel, which blew open a huge story called Cracking FTX that Six Figs produced and actually flew across the country to make this high quality film. That camera gear that you had was absolutely professional. It was some of the best quality gear that I've ever seen, and it was one of the funnest interviews that I've ever done. But so we're OGs in the space. We both have gotten grants from Dfinity, but we're gonna let you know we got nowhere near $75,000, guys. But we support Dfinity, we support ICP, whether we got grants or not, and that's why people like us continue to work closely to promote ICP within the ecosystem. And so we're really happy. We were at $3 with you guys. So the whole point of this, we need to celebrate a little bit today, Kyle, because this is a huge win for not only everybody who's bought ICP, in the last couple of months, but everybody who went through the entire bear market. People like you and I who were buying ICP at $44, and we believed in it as it went down, and we never really, took up against ICP in a way because we did our research on it, and now we get to celebrate. So I just want to give that over to you. Tell your version of the story, how you want to tell it, and just let the people know that we're here for them. We've been here for them, and we went through the lowest of lows together, and now we're going to go through the highest of highs.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's interesting just looking back on like the last 3 years. Like at least I can say that I got into ICP right when it was at like $30 on the way down, somewhere in that neighborhood. It might have been 35, somewhere in that neighborhood. It was basically whatever November, December of 2020, what it would have been. Let's see. Anyways, doesn't matter. It was like 3 years ago. You started telling me about ICP, and we had just come off the Crypto Wendy show.
Yeah, it was like, almost Christmas. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the end of the year.
Yep. And so I remember I was like, oh yeah, I gotta just throw some feelers out to see who this guy is, and see what he's up to. And then you started telling me about ICP, and then so I was like, man, of course I did what every single person does, and that's you go right to the chart and you look at that thing and you're just like, oh wow, this looks really, really bad. I don't know if I want to even touch this thing. I don't know if I want to even like be associated with this thing. Of course, then you start doing your research on it, and it's like you see all the articles that are bad, the videos that are bad, all the posts are bad. There's literally nothing good to be said about it. The only way to work past that at that point was to actually like try out the tech and use it, which you encouraged me to. And so what was really insane was, after I started using it, I said, oh my gosh, dude, like you are onto something here. This is like everything I've dreamed of in a crypto project. And, with that said, um, it was really, I just kind of progressed slowly, and I started making a few videos about it. And then you told me about the Definity Community Grants Program. And this is when the price is at like $30, 25, $30 an ICP. It was crazy. And so luckily enough, I applied, and at that time there was nobody else applying for grants. I mean, it was just like you, myself, maybe a couple other people, and that was it. Nobody wanted to even take a grant from Definity to make videos on it. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that's how I got so lucky to get the grant, you know.
Yeah, nobody wanted to touch it, and so I can remember like thinking to myself, okay, I've got to figure out because when it came down to it, when I started doing all this research and seeing all these videos and reading these articles, every article, every negative piece of FUD focused on one thing, and that was the launch. And so what was crazy about that was, I went through so much data. I went through all the exchanges, the spot token prices. I went through like everything, dude. Like just crazy amounts of data. And then I was like, after I did that, I couldn't really find anything that was conclusive that could like lead me to think one way or another that there was a ulterior reason why this thing crashed, like insider selling or something like that. I couldn't find any proof of that. Then I thought, well, I'm going to have to audit the futures data. And so then I went through, and FTX is the very last futures trading platform that I audited. And at the time, in my mind, like I liked FTX. I didn't really care for Sam Bankman too much, but I realized that they had built up an impressive empire. And so they were kind of more of like the trusted exchanges, in my own opinion. And after I went through about 5 or 6 exchanges, looking at all the futures data, I realized that FTX went on to host the ICP launch because I realized that they created these synthetic assets like a week before token generation. So it's like, well, how could FTX even create tokens, ICP tokens, even in a perpetual way, um, and have them trading before the actual token is even released. ICP's token is even released. So I thought, this is strange, man. And so then I went through every tweet that they made to like the beginning of time. And I pulled all the launches, all the tokens that they launched in the perpetual futures market. Because every time they do this, they would put out a great tweet, and it'd be like, hey, we just listed ICP perpetual futures. And you can see like it's date stamped, and you can see what the token was and all that. And I realized that they did this to another project called Rona Network. And then I was like, this is really odd now. There's 2 examples. And those were the only 2 examples that I could find because my resources were very limited. And so with that said, once I discovered that, now I had to go ahead and try to figure out if this was like a normal thing, right? Because I didn't know if like launching perps on tokens before they release was like a normal thing or not. So then I just decided I've got to look at all these other exchanges that are offering perps, perpetual futures, and see if they're launching stuff early. And of course, after going through like 2 or 3, 400 listings, I probably went through 12. I probably went through about 1,200 listings. It was about 200 per exchange. So yeah, about that. Out of the 1,200, FTX is the only exchange that was doing this. And so then I
And it
created,
did the same thing to both of the projects,
yes,
Ronin Network and ICP, right? So anyone that
exactly,
happened to, the same outcome happened, right?
exactly. And I'll talk about 5 or 6 more projects that they hose as well. Um, but anyways, long story short, a couple 2 or 3 years ago, I go ahead and put out that video exposing FTX for what they had done. And of course, you saw it. Nobody gave a crap other than the ICP community. We had this video. It explained why the token crashed, and it basically set Definity free in a sense within the community, because now the entire community knows exactly what happens. And then the thing that saved this whole project I did, or this research, um, was the fact that FTX was so shady that they ended up collapsing. Once that happened, then people started really paying attention. But right before that happened, there was about an 8 to 9 month span where I was trying to push this out to the masses, saying, "Hey, FTX is evil and corrupt." Then I got in touch with BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, and I talked to Ben like the other day, and he's doing great. I know he had some stuff going on, but without without him, I feel like there would be we would be definitely a lot worse off as a community, because he, in fact, was like the bullhorn that really just blasted this out to the entire cryptoverse, this information. So back then, I didn't know who Ben was really. He didn't know who I was. Met him down in Miami, talked to him a little bit, met him back up in Minnesota a couple months later. And, at that time, he was really educating the cryptoverse about ICP and this information at a high level that nobody else was capable of in the community. So I think like a lot of thanks has to go to Ben, and then and so once that happened, and FTX collapsed, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, like they really were a shady exchange that did this. And
Yeah,
so that,
now we got people like Altcoin Daily talking about it.
really, okay,
Even Coin Bureau came around now.
great.
So ICP is starting. People are taking notice now. A lot of
Mhm.
people are making money. If you used to look at how many people were in profit holding ICP, it was a very low number, right? Because of that, manipulated launch. And
Yeah.
now, with ICP being at $3 for so long and being under 10 for the entire bear
Mhm.
market, when we went to $21, a lot of people that had been in the loss started to go into the profit now. And so that's
Yeah.
what we're going to see in this next year, is more and more wallets starting to move into that profit area because of things like that, because of you making that video and you actually reaching out to Ben about that. And you guys can learn
Mhm.
more in this video right here.
Yeah.
This is
It's
the link to cracking FTX. This video kind of goes in depth. I'm in the interview on
mhm.
one of those, and then
Yeah.
Wendy O is in there. Jordan Mack, I believe, is in there,
Yeah.
and of course Six Figs created it.
And
So yeah, you guys need to check that out, because like you said, it's set Definity free, because if your
mhm.
own community turns on you, that is the lifeblood of the people just out there running and grinding for you, because they believe in your project and they believe in the crypto, and they want to make either a great project on that crypto or make a crap ton of money.
Mhm.
Uh, so, and you can do both on ICP, which is really cool. But if it wasn't for this specific thing that happened, it would have been really hard. I'm not saying Definity couldn't have recovered, but it would have made it a lot harder to do so. And Dominic Williams is just he's a badass dude. He runs
Mhm.
all over the globe. He's actually in America right now.
Oh,
Um,
is he?
Yeah, he was in Washington, D.C., and now
Nice.
he's going to Wyoming
Oh.
because they are they recognize DAOs as legal entities in Wyoming. So he's going there to do something there. I'd love to. That'd be cool. Just stop by Colorado on your way through, Dom.
That'd be cool to go. Yeah, to go see him.
I'd go up to Wyoming too. That's probably the only way I'd be able to see him.
Yeah, no.
Wyoming. But yeah, so the things are about to get crazy though, man. You know, we've been in this part of the market before. This isn't our first bull market. This is kind of ICP's first full bull market because it did launch, you know, in 2021. So it kind of got the last end of the bull market. So this is its first bull market. So we could really see ICP reach these $150 to $300 estimates that I've seen people talk. Are we going to 1,000 right now? Unless we start burning a lot of ICP, probably not. But with everything that's going down with trillions, did you see the volume on USDT yesterday?
Oh yeah, I did. That was insane. It was wild. Yeah, I don't recall the exact number, but I remember like looking at it. Yeah, dude, I saw like a huge mint happen, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so people are looking to shuffle some money around, man.
Yeah, because Bitcoin went to that $100,000 level. I know you don't have a lot of time. I'll just wrap up this, but with Bitcoin going to $100,000, we're going to see money start to flow out of Bitcoin and into altcoins. Yeah. So let's look at the charts because Six Figs has about 10 minutes left. So
I could probably push it a little bit too.
Okay, how about you share your screen first?
Yeah, I can do that. Bear with me 1 second here.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying real quick. What's up, everybody? Smash that like if you haven't and subscribe because I might have more people from Definity on. I already have them lined up. I'm just trying to get like a mini grant to do it, but if not, I'll just have them on the channel anyway. But I think Jesse Can Writes is going to come on the channel. Jesse Writes Crypto.
Yeah. Okay, very nice. Yeah, so like you had mentioned, let's just kind of zoom out. We'll do a reset of the room here. So yeah, Renegade's talking about some very, very appealing price tags, 150 to 300. I definitely think it's possible. And one of the things that's crazy about the price of ICP, and Jeff kind of mentioned this slide all the way down to the bottom was brutal. So really for the first couple of years, there wasn't very many people in the money on ICP. And now this thing is really starting to rip. But it's formed a very interesting pattern. I've kind of talked a lot about this on my channel in the fact that I've been kind of telling people for months, just watch out for something like this to occur. I do think that we are seeing a very nice cup and handle form on the charts. And when we think about this, one way to basically measure a cup and handle is for traders to measure from the top of the cup down to the bottom. So right here. And this will give us two different estimates on where price can go on the low end, where price can go on the high end. So rule of thumb is to take this measurement, stack it for the low end, and boom, you can see that price on the low end. Hey, we're looking at $43. But when we stack this, and I don't think it's going to top out at $43, but when we stack this up, you can see about $158. Well, you have to think about, what does $158 look like as far as a market cap goes for ICP. Currently, I don't know if you guys can see this calculator. Can you see this calculator?
No.
No. Okay. No. So you guys are just going to have to visualize this or take my word for it. But basically, price is at about $14. We'll just go 14 cents, right? So we got $14, 14 cents. And we've got a $6.7 billion market cap. So let's just say at $158 divided by $14.14, that means that we need to see an 11x happen from here, which based off the current tokenomics, we'd be looking at about a $75 billion market cap. Now, I think you were just even mentioning, how much money is going to flow into ICP, and I do think that we are gearing up to see. Bear with me one second. I'm just trying to get my bearings back here. So we're seeing about what 8 to 10 trillion they're estimating coming into the markets. We're seeing some massive stuff happen with USDT, things like that. But right now the crypto market cap. Do you know what it's at right now, Jeff? Is it at like 3 or 4 trillion?
So Bitcoin was almost at 2 trillion. I don't. Let me look real quick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the exact amount.
So we're probably at like 3.5 to 4, 3.5 to 4. So I think that there's a good chance that
3.5, 3.55 trillion.
Got it. So you have to think if $10 trillion makes it into this cryptoverse, a lot of that money is probably going to get dumped into the top 50, top 100 projects. That's just the way it is. And so I definitely think hitting that $75 billion market cap is totally doable. And I think it's totally reasonable to say that 150, 160 bucks, I think, yeah, we could do that. Last bull cycle, man, we saw projects like Cardano hit 100 billion plus. Solana obviously did great and it's doing even better now. But there was a lot of projects that hit that $50 to $100 range or $1 billion market cap range. So this time, I hate to say that this time it's different. Every bull market is different. And that's why they say this time is different. ICP has some great catalysts going for it. And you had just mentioned about maybe we could see something really start burning cycles at a really tremendous rate. And I don't know if you've talked much about Caffeine AI, but I feel like Caffeine AI, which is this program that Definity is building or has built, that allows the average everyday user to come in, and now what they can do is talk to this AI or write a prompt to this AI and tell this AI exactly what you want to build. This program will write it all in Motoko, put it online, and deploy the canisters and all that stuff.
Yeah. So let me take over just for a second with that. I want to thank you first because you're the reason that I started doing stuff like that. So let me just, I've told it on the channel times. But Six Figs, I was looking at this pattern called the Bitcoin hammer. And he was like, well, man, you should just go on, Chat GPT and use PineScript and tell it what you want to code it. And then I couldn't really figure out how to articulate the Bitcoin hammer pattern. Mm-hmm. So I made an indicator with PineScript that works really well, actually. I was able to code that. Then that got me to thinking, well, maybe I could code other stuff with this. This is all thanks to things like mentioning. I didn't even, that thought never even crossed my mind. And this is well before Caffeine AI, mind you. This is about 6 months ago, maybe. For whatever, however long ago it was.
Nice.
And then so it was like 6, maybe even a year. It's been a while. But anyway, so I started thinking, hey, maybe I could code something else. Well, it's really hard with ChatGPT because it doesn't really understand Motoko very well and can't really run with the machinery you're using. So you have to figure a lot of stuff out. But I was still able to do it, even though I've never had one day of coding training in my life. So what I'm thinking with Caffeine AI is that somebody like me who's, just naturally smart, and I can get through a lot of the roadblocks that come up while you're coding something. Because when I coded that script, it actually took me a long time because it kept saying, well, this is wrong, you can't do that. So I would go back and have to fix that and then redeploy it and tell me something else is wrong. But you can get through it if you find the errors. So I think with Caffeine AI, being able to directly speak into it, you can articulate what you want a lot better than typing, because I actually speak different than I type. which is really weird. I look at what I type and I'm like, I would actually never say that out of my mouth to somebody, but I'll type that. So the thought process from when you think to when you speak to when you think to when you write down is a little bit different. And I know that personally myself is 100% true. But so being able to speak to the AI, have it understand the internet computer because it runs on the internet computer, that's all it does. You would be able to take some of those barriers for some average Joe that has a little bit of intelligence, behind him, and can actually make something really cool. And that's what I've actually done. I deployed a canister on the internet computer. I actually had to code Windows into my Linux first to be able to do that. But I think caffeine AI is the future, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, dude.
When you talk about that, because I enjoy that. I enjoyed coding. And if I could actually learn how to code too, that would be so awesome. But yeah.
Right, dude. Well said, man. I think, when it comes down to it, we're going to see, we've already seen what one killer application, blockchain on blockchain, or Bob, as you guys know it. We've seen the tremendous power one single application has to possibly, it's turned ICP deflationary at times.
Well, it's not just Bob, but Bob is the main one. There's actually about 4 or 5 different ones now that are burning. So if Bob was the one to make it relevant for everyone else, and then once those cycles started burning and ICP started burning and that rate started going up, I think projects like that are going to be more and more frequent on the internet computer. And Bob is definitely in it. It just pumped to the moon,
dude.
by the way. So
did it?
Great.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, like, you think about that, like, this caffeine AI is going to solve 2 issues that everybody has, including myself. And that is having the capital to pay for good devs. You need to trust these people, obviously. And the second hurdle that everybody faces that's not a programmer or a developer is that we don't know how to code. So those are the 2 biggest barriers to entry to get into to participating in owning applications on Web3. And when it comes down to it, I know that there's probably a lot of people, smash the like button or show some hearts or something, if you've wanted to code or throw up an application, don't have money for the dev, you don't know how to code. Like, I'm in that boat. So this solves a huge roadblock or barrier to entry, to bar none. It's just incredible. And I feel like we're going to see, a lot of these people that haven't had this access, they're super creative, they're super smart, they've got great ideas, and now they're finally going to be able to deploy it on the IC. Like, we're going to see IC go absolutely crazy. This thing's going to start burning cycles like
it will.
Nobody's business.
It will. I'm just excited to see the future of that burning cycles, because if ICP does become deflationary compared to the amount of tokens minted, so that's how basically new ICP tokens come into existence, is through the NNS. So new tokens are minted for maturity, and it adds to the total supply. So if you get things like Bob Burn, ICPS, and I know there's another one, all burning cycles, it's going to really take off. And then when it comes to the AI, so it comes in waves, right? So while stuff is cooking behind the scenes, the AI stuff, we get stuff like Bob that is also helping. And we need all of these different applications and ecosystem projects to be able to have this diverse ecosystem, that when the money does roll in, people have places that they can go. Because when ICP first came out, it was very technically sound, but a lot of things didn't work properly. Or to 100%, right? The video games, like, people would develop them, not Definity, most of their stuff works flawlessly. But like projects, like video games would just come out, like my game, with just a demo, and then that would be it, right? Nothing would actually come to completion. And then we saw that change over time. We saw projects starting to evolve their projects into SNSs. We started to see, we had that SNS phase where everything was SNS. Everybody was talking about the SNS. We had that NNS stage where everybody was talking about governance. We had our meme coin stages, right? And I'm not saying they're not going to come back. I'm just saying that's the flow, because during from CK Bitcoin to caffeine AI, there's like a gap in there that needs to be filled, and these new innovations are going to come in waves. So while caffeine AI is cooking, well, Dom is working on his next AI speech, we get Bob burning tokens. We get Bitcoin ordinals and ruins taking over ICP, or ICP taking over the Bitcoin ordinals ruin space. So these are the kind of things that are going to lead us to massive price movements. But let's just go look at the volume, because volume is my favorite. And the RSI. Those are my two. We got to look at those really quickly. So the volume, look at this volume, and we've had continuous 500 million.
Wow. So incredible.
Let's see how long. Okay, it started, I would say, we'll count from 400 million up. So from December 2nd, we've had a consistent almost 500 million the entire time, 450 to 500 million. This is crazy volume.
That is crazy.
Do you ever use the CFGI?
Is that the cash to flow index?
Maybe.
Or
maybe.
I guess I'm not sure.
CFGI.
Fear and greed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't use it. I enjoy seeing it though. Every once in a while I'll see people, post a chart. It's actually legitimate. I feel like you could definitely get a
order book.
A feeling for the temperature of the room on this.
Yeah, look at that. The whales have been really negative. That's why we're not moving up. They're taking profits. So Six Figs really explained, and actually I can show you and then have Six Figs explain this Fibonacci extension and how it works when these whales take profits, because this guy is a ninja when it comes to TA. Like, I'm good at TA now because I had coaching partially in thanks to Six Figs. I was really a newbie at TA, and he really helped broaden my skills. So let's bring this over to the master and just explain these levels and how they are going to be treated by these whales. So we'll just go top to bottom. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's really zoom in first, and then we'll go and look at the higher ones. Actually, let me get rid of these.
No, you're good.
Should have cleaned this out first.
And then, what I want you to do here is, like, on one of these lines, right click, and then go up to, like, I think it's like the gear. Right there.
Here?
Yep, go to that one. And then scroll down and hit that 1272 button right underneath there.
1272.
Yep. Right at the
right
bottom.
there.
There you go. Yeah, turn that bad boy on. There you go. Okay, cool. So like Fibonacci, this is a great tool to use whenever you're trying to figure out, like, I guess, like natural barriers or resistant points. Fibonacci is like a mathematician that lived hundreds of years ago, and he was able to identify things like Fibonacci time sequence, Fibonacci extensions and retracements, the Fibonacci spiral, which, if you look in nature, you'll see whales will corral fish, and dolphins will corral like fish with air bubbles, and they'll make these perfect spirals. These same spirals can be found in the exact, like, dimensions on snail shells. in sunflowers, things like that. So it's like just this, this Fibonacci is, it's almost like this sequence that's connected to like the universe of everything. And
Yeah.
so it's a great tool that traders use to try to predict, where there might be some support and resistant areas, and just kind of like what you've got up on the screen right now. Right now I'm kind of looking at, that 786, which is that line right there. I feel like at about $16.10, 16.16, just based off where you got here. That's possibly going to be a little bit of a tough point to get through. But if we can get through that, I feel like obviously that one ratio at $18.70 is definitely possible. But then when you start to move up to that 127, the one thing about the 127 and the 161.8 is the 127, that is a famous fib for, and a lot of the options traders on Wall Street will look at the 127 and the 161.8. A lot of guys will sell their bags and reverse their positions at the 127. The ones with big balls will wait till the 161.8.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to trying to catch the falling knife, especially. That's kind of what they do. But when it comes down to this 127 and the number I'm seeing, that $21, $22 number, when you zoom out on the left shoulder of the screen, you should see another hump, possibly, right around that $22 level. Okay, right there. Yep, just right there, right to your left, right there. So I mean, that kind of lines up with a natural point of price resistance, right? Because we
Yeah.
saw price try to pump right there, but it got declined right in that area.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
all just buy side liquidity up there.
yeah. So it's an interesting thing to see that though, and so obviously that 161.8 at the $25 level. I mean, the 161.8 is another one of those golden ratios. So, you got the 61.8, the
Yeah, and that's all
161.8.
sell side liquidity.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
So
mean, like,
you were telling me whales like to sell at certain levels. Is that why we're seeing it go back down over here
yeah.
to this I mean you call it a retracement level. But what would you think for that? Or
Yeah.
we would do it the other way.
I mean, I feel like, when the whales step in, it's very noticeable. When whales step in, you just see the charts get clobbered really bad. And, obviously, there could be some whale activity. At this point, I would hope they'd be accumulating. Um, but I think right now, it's just, I think right now for ICP, what we're seeing is just supply and demand issues. Like, there's just not enough demand for this stuff on the exchanges quite yet. And I'm not discounting everything that's happened where we've come up from $3 to now $15. So with that said, I feel like the markets have been pretty steady now for the last month and a half. When we look at like previous bull markets too, those for you guys that were around in the last bull market, you look at Bitcoin, that thing had like, I don't know, 50, 30 plus percent retracements or something crazy like that. It was some wild number. Like that means going from like $3,000 all the way up to 60,000. I think it had like 20 or 30 or 50 instances of it retracing like 30% or 25%. So I mean, yeah, you're going to see these harsh corrections and mega pumps, and I'm here for it. And I think that we're right at still at the very beginning stages of the next bull run. I think that once we start to see over $6-7 trillion in the entire crypto space, you better have an exit plan at that point, because the crypto markets don't give a crap if you're left holding the bag for the next 3 or 4 years. You're at you're in the right place here on Jeff's channel, talking to the right guys, and I think that you just got to have that plan. you know, in the next 6 months at least, if not sooner.
And yeah, you need to really love ICP and EXE, like video game time warp.
Nice.
Definitely. There's some good meme coins on ICP. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
buying more meme coins.
Cool.
Once I start getting my paychecks, I'm gonna start allocating, and it's a really good time even to buy like ICP when it retraces. I'm not gonna be buying when we go to tops like this. It could keep going up, but when we do see, even if it does, when we see a retracement, that's when I'm gonna buy whatever price it is. So anytime ICP does go down, I'm going to be scooping it up because next year, I'm just going to try to add to my total and get as much ICP as possible and other cryptos too. I really want to get some Polygon. I want to get some other cryptos and stuff, and I was supposed to do TA on that today. Sorry guys. But I'm going to do another video Friday. And then I think I'm going to have Baboon Moon on the channel. He's going to play his asteroid game, show us how you can play to earn. But we need more price pumps, guys. We need more of this.
Yeah.
We need it. Pump our bags, guys. Do some research. If ICP is for you, come join the fun. We're making lots of money. Let's take a question or two, and then we got to go. Hey, good luck buying at these levels ever again.
Well said.
And it's true.
Well
I told people like 2 times. I don't know if you ever call prices on your channel, but if you do it, I'm sure you do it very, very very sparingly. And I've only made a couple of calls where I said now is the time to buy. You're gonna buy it. I did one at $3 and one at $7 just last month. So if you listen to this channel, and Six Figs called a cup and handle 2 months ago saying that we were going to come up to where we are now and even higher. So you guys need to follow Six Figs, not only on his YouTube channel, which you have the link to Cracking FTX here, but on Twitter, because that's where he posts some of his, I saw the cup and handle on there myself. So he posts his trades, not trades on there, but his TA, which he probably trades with.
Yeah, absolutely. I everything I post on my X, I'll trade.
What do you think of this, Six Figs?
Yeah, any big ICP and EXE dips I scoop up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like to feel that max pain in the market, and you can really, one of the best gauges for myself is to just hop on X, and you see people in max pain. It's terrible to see. But that's a really good indicator of like, hey, look at the chart. Okay, people are suffering. This is a great time to buy. And of course, I utilize lots of things like the Ichimoku clouds and things like that. It looks like Marcos is saying Bitcoin just hit 100K.
It did, not just, it hit like 99,000 the other day. But that was
shit, it's at 101,000 right now.
Right now?
Right now, dude.
Oh dang, I didn't know Bitcoin was pumping.
Dude.
What? You said Bitcoin 100K right here.
Dude, it's at 101,000 right now.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Bro, too bad ICP is neutral. Is it neutral to Bitcoin right now?
It must be.
Yeah, it's neutral.
It's $2 trillion.
Let's look
Holy
at the daily.
shit,
I think I didn't even look at that on the daily.
This is amazing.
Oh, it's positive on the daily.
Thank you, Marcos, for letting us know, bro.
Hold on. It's positive on the 15-minute with Bitcoin.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, and the hold on, that's the 15 minutes.
101.
Neutral on the daily. Dang.
Jeez, wow. Unreal. It hit $101,139.
Wow, man, it broke that. But is it gonna stay above 100 though? I think that's gonna be a very psychological level. So if we see it past 100, I think it's going to 110 soon, man. I never count Bitcoin out, especially MicroStrategy bought how many billion and $95,000.
Yeah,
And Trump is a billionaire, by the way. I think he's still a billionaire, so I'm sure he's buying a crap ton of Bitcoin. Elon Musk is buying a crap ton of Bitcoin, and then the money is going to go into Bitcoin again and start to flow. Well, I mean, you see 500 million on ICP right now, so money isn't really flowing out of altcoins into Bitcoin right now. As you see, the volume is massive. So what we're seeing is a complete market move to the upside with the entire market right now. This is crazy, bro.
All-time highs right now, 101, 175.
Seeing Bitcoin over $100,000. Go look at CK Bitcoin. It's over 100,000 too.
Yeah. This just made my day, man.
Well, having you on the channel made my day, bro. You know, work is kind of fun, but this is what I enjoy, man. I love being with my people, talking about crypto, seeing Bitcoin go over $100,000, man.
Nuts, absolutely mental. Yeah, dude, it was nice coming on here and shooting it. Yeah, so I mean, we got to get you on my channel one of these days. It's we're way overdue, but it's always great to catch up.
As long as it's right around this time at night, I should be able to do it. Hopefully, I don't know my shift yet, but I think I'm going to be 9 to 6. So I can get home, somewhere around this time or like 7:30, which would be 8:30 your time. And we could do but this week and next week, if you want to have me, I'm working 7 to 4.
Okay.
So anytime at night you're on, just let me know. Anytime this week and next week.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll do something.
For sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's always a blast to have Six Figs on the channel, but the channel would be nothing without you guys. And I want to let you know that the whole reason that I got in this, and I know Six Figs wanted to teach people about crypto because we were good at it. And we wanted other people to know how to make money by doing their research. And finding out good cryptos, and then using us as an information source and not as financial advisors. And you can make a lot of money, but you got to do your own due diligence. I'm sure we both spent thousands of hours researching crypto. You spent so much time on that video alone, cracking FTX. Imagine how much time you actually spent doing research, looking into cryptos, new projects, how crypto works, and then even building. I don't know if you've ever built anything on a blockchain, but I just stuck my foot in that pool. So there's so many things to offer in crypto, man. And again, it was a blast. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate you having me on. It's always great to talk to you. And good night to everyone, and go Bitcoin.
All right, guys. That being said, goodbye, and Bitcoin to 150K. Bang!
200,000, baby.